Yo.
Yeah.
So we back. Kay's back there hiding.
He's eating.
He eating.
You gotta just say like before
What?
you.
My bad. We kind of starting off from where we left off last time.
Quick review, real quick.
We're eating.
Harlem Public. I support it. This is not a paid sponsorship, but I do like their food. If you want to go there one day, look it up. Eat, drink, be merry,
Food
all
is
that good
fire.
stuff.
Food is definitely fire.
That burger was hitting.
Yes, my food was also nice. My food is also nice. I'm still eating
And if
it.
you're gonna drink any soda, drink Sprite.
Fuck Sprite.
Fuck you. But yeah,
I'm gonna explain why it's fuck Sprite. Cause Sprite ain't nothing but a bootleg 7-Up.
Like I said, it's a bootleg 7-Up.
Remember when 7-Up was running shit?
But I forgot about 7-Up. That's crazy.
Niggas always forget about the originators.
The originators.
You know, remember this. You know, niggas talk about Verizon and AT&T and Sprint, but niggas forget about AT&T owns all of that shit. Niggas was hating so bad. I didn't even know this. Niggas was hating so bad they snitched and was like, "Yo,
excuse me.
they're taking over the market. We need help."
Niggas
Niggas had to
help.
merge with each other. Then they had to take them to court. So then AT&T had to sell their services to the other phone companies. What type of bitch shit is that, my nigga? We've heard of Monopoly, but damn. Just lose.
Nigga said just lose.
But to take off where we was at before with the Michael Jackson documentary, Mike was a wild nigga.
He's definitely a wild nigga.
He was definitely a wild nigga. He was definitely a wild nigga. He was definitely a wild nigga.
Technically, is it still being used if it's not in the camera?
Yes, because you're looking down. But
Wow.
Mike was a wild nigga. One thing that I feel like they might, like the kids, well, the gentlemen now, the kids when they were growing up, might actually have on Mike, that Mike might have actually touched them or sexually abused them, was Mike has this weird nipple fetish, apparently. You know? It's very weird.
Some of this stuff should not be laughed at because it was some real fucked up shit that was being said. But some of this shit, like, that shit was a little funny.
Like, you know, my thing is this. Do what you want to do. Me personally, my nipples don't do anything for me. So, I feel like for you to enjoy little boys sucking on your nipples is kind of like what? That's what you into, bro? Like, you know.
The question is, are you surprised that's what he was into? He was into some real wild shit.
He was, and once again, this is if it's true. If it's true.
This nigga had,
I don't know if it's true.
This nigga had mock weddings with the children and shit.
That's the part. No, but wait. You heard they got the new footage, right?
I didn't know about the new footage.
They got the new footage of them actually being in the jewelry store, buying the rings.
But again, that doesn't surprise me because I believed it anyway. Like,
So you think Mike was really touching them?
oh yeah, I do.
Hands down?
Yeah. But I believed that before the documentary.
Why did you believe that before the documentary?
Okay, one, I there's a couple reasons, but one, I put it like this. Michael had a lot of money. Whether or not he had money when he died,
No,
is
he had
beside
money
the
when he
point. Whether or not, that's not my point. I don't care. But when he was alive, the money that he had, what most niggas do
died. Why do
is...
people love pulling up next to me?
What most niggas do is, if they're not spending that money on themselves, they're spending that money on things that they know will attract the kind of people that they like. When rappers get money, they buy chains and cars and shit because they know that the bitches they like chains and cars. When you have as much money as Michael had,
This nigga, you're terrible for even thinking this.
And this nigga decided what I want to do is I want to build an amusement park with all this other bullshit, a living amusement park so all the children can come and sleep in my bed. Nigga, in my head,
you know what his
because
defense
what
is with
most
the kids?
niggas do, we'll get to his defense in a second.
No, I'm talking about with the kids. Like why he wanted to be around kids all the time.
Because he said that he didn't have a childhood.
No, he said in another video that I watched yesterday, he was like, you know, Jesus.
Never mind.
He dead pulled the Jesus card.
I don't even want to hear it.
I'm cool. Like, you know, Jesus
I'm cool.
Was around a lot of kids, and they said, you know, be like Jesus. So
what video is that?
I'm gonna send.
We're not even gonna touch that.
I'll definitely show it. And
it's
Mike. It's Mike saying these things, and I was like, that's a nice excuse. I don't know if it's true.
But most people, when they get money, unless they're spending it on themselves, they usually spend it on things that will attract the kind of people that they like. Michael chose to attract children. That was one of the first red flags. 2, there's a couple things that you don't really like, even in an argument, even in a fight, even to somebody that doesn't like you, there's a couple of things you just don't get accused of unless there's some kind of proof. Most people, if you're not snitching or doing something that, I don't know why you did that. If you're not snitching or doing something that can be seen as snitching, most of the time you won't get called a snitch. If you're not doing anything with the same sex or anything that can perceive that way, most of the time you're not gonna be called gay, a faggot, none of that shit. Being called a pedophile is not the kind of thing that people just throw around if you're not doing anything that might make that believable. That's not most people's go-to. And if they're calling you a pedophile to get money out of you, one, they could find some easier ways to get money out of nigga. But that's a stretch to me. And the only person that this has ever been tried on was Michael Jackson. If that's what they're doing, if they called you a pedophile to try to get money out of you, Michael Jackson is the only person that this has ever been tried and worked on, apparently, because it worked. He settled out of court for his cases. So that's just weird as shit.
Not cases.
The fact that you have multiple child molestation cases in and of itself is like, nigga, more than one? Like, that's like...
But he was investigated for 10 years and nothing popped up.
But see, at the same time, it's like, besides the like recordings of him voice messaging the kids and the whole fucking notes that he would fax the children and shit, at no point did any of them say that he was the type that would keep stuff. They never said he video. Like, what would they find? And one, you probably wouldn't even need it because he used to take these kids on tour with him. So most of the time, what like serial rapists will do is they'll keep trophies or mementos to remember their acts so that they can relive it and get
into your psychology bag.
Yeah, but that's what most any serial killers, serial rapists, any of them, usually they'll keep trophies or mementos because when they look at it, it'll put them back then and they can get those same feelings. If you have the kind of money Michael has and you're literally taking your victims with you everywhere, you don't really need that. You don't have to remember what it was like because literally if you want to fuck this kid, then you can do it right then. I don't know why you're making that, like that's what he was doing, supposedly. So it's just like, besides maybe recorded audio, if they had bugged his house, maybe, there's nothing really to find. None of the kids ever said he took pictures of them. None of the kids ever said that he took videos of them. And he was buying them jewelry. That might have been it for him.
He wasn't buying them jewelry.
Little rings.
Well, that was they wanted to do the marriage thing.
Yeah, that might been his. Some, that's it, when they see you wear things that they bought. Sometimes that's enough. There's nothing to find then. there's a lot of reasons why there was nothing found, because what would be found? In the R. Kelly situation, he was videotaping every fucking thing. So they found videotapes. Michael Jackson didn't do any of that. He had his victims with him all the time.
So you think Mike was just that smart?
I don't think it was that smart. He just had the money to do it. It's not a matter of being smart. If Michael Jackson, and this might be giving him too much credit, if anything, Michael Jackson was smart enough to have the I love kids persona so that it wouldn't look weird to see him around a whole bunch of children, bringing them on tour and shit. They were dancing with him. It looked like it made sense. Most people don't have that luxury. If you're like raping certain people, like in the R. Kelly situation, if R. Kelly had been traveling with a bunch of little girls, it would have looked fucking weird. You wouldn't have been able to get away with that. He was smart enough to like, nah, y'all gotta stay locked up in the house, or whatever he was doing to those women. But Michael Jackson had the persona of, he would bring kids on stage. He had things specifically for children, so that when people saw him with children, for some reason, being a pedophile wasn't the first thing that came to their mind. I'm not saying he was smart. I'm not even saying that he might have did that on purpose, but he lucked out and that it was able to work out for him. Plus, he had the money that he was able to take whole families out on these trips. Because at the same time, it's not like these kids were by themselves with him, but he would take the families. That takes the... If most people, if they see that the parents are with you, they're not going to think, oh, there's no way he would do something with the parents right there. If they see the parents with these kids, it's like, nah, he's not doing that. Little did they know that these parents were the dumbest motherfuckers in the world. Aside from anything else, these parents were fucking horrible.
They weren't dumb.
Well, in the documentary, they called them starstruck. Them niggas
James,
stupid.
No. Wade's mom is dumb. She packed up the son and the daughter, left Australia, came to America, just on the whim of Mike. My nigga, I mean, don't get me wrong, Michael Jackson could change your life, but you're gonna leave your husband, your parents, just everything behind, and just be like, all right, we're moving to America. I think that's a little much. That's me though. James's mom, that bitch, I'm not gonna say she was dumb. She was definitely how can I say it? She was pimping her son, flat out.
I agree with that.
Because she said a certain point in there, like, you know, I enjoyed the champagne and the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had a blind eye to even question anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Even the shit that looked weird, the parents wouldn't question because they felt special and shit. And then, on top of all that, it's like besides the fact that most people don't get called a pedophile, but that was the thing that stuck with you. Because it didn't just get called and go away. That shit stuck. You had multiple cases for it. It stuck. Whether it was true or not, it stuck. That's weird. You catered specifically to children. It's fucking weird. But it was a joke before when they said, I forgot, I think it was Dave Chappelle, but I'm not sure. He was just like, name one relationship Michael Jackson was in that you believed. That's true. At no point, I don't know anybody, like, whenever you saw Michael Jackson with a woman in a relationship, that looked weirder than him being with kids. That in and of itself is weird. Him being around a whole bunch of children looks fine, but when you see him with a woman in a relationship, that shit looks like he's acting. That's weird. None of that shit looked right. That's why I think he did it. Before this documentary, I've been saying this shit since I was a child. I was a child that knew the shit that was going on. No, there's something off about all this bullshit.
Did you look at Michael Jackson as the boogeyman as a child?
No, I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw Michael Jackson's face, that shit terrified me. Like, when I was a young kid and I saw him in the newspaper for rape allegations, I didn't even really understand what he was being charged with. I just saw this weird looking nigga on the newspaper, and that shit scared the fuck out of me when I was like, whatever age that was. But no, not the boogeyman. Because in my head, I don't know why, but in my head I was just like, that nigga not coming to the hood. Like, I when I was a young kid, I was just like, I don't gotta worry about that nigga, because there's no way he's coming to fucking here. Like, that just doesn't seem like the kind of nigga that would come around here where I was at the time. So I was never really worried about that. But
True.
you could blame the parents for turning a blind eye, and it is. They are partly to blame. But let's not shift the blame off the nigga that was actually having these like, you're wrong, nigga. Like, the parents should have done a better job, but you shouldn't have put them in a position where they had to do a better job. Like,
So I'm gonna ask you this now: are you canceling Mike?
again, I've been thought he did this.
No, but are you canceling him? Are you still gonna listen to his music?
Well, I don't listen to his music now anyway. So, but I mean, if I did listen to his music, then yeah, I'd cancel him now. But I don't listen to Michael Jackson.
Let me tell y'all something funny. I canceled R. Kelly. I can't listen to the nigga music no more.
Again, that was another person I never really listened.
But
I wasn't listening to his music anymore.
But I'm turning the blind eye to Mike. If Mike did this shit,
he had too many hits.
Yo, bro, I can't, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. You wanna hear some fucked up shit? After I watched it, I actually started playing a lot of his music.
No, but that's what they did to the R. Kelly shit too, though.
Nah, but like R. Kelly's,
R. Kelly shit. His record sales went way up after that shit.
I'm turning the blind eye to Mike, not because you want to know what it is, not because he might have did it, might not have. He's dead. He's dead. Like, my thing is this.
Well, they were
Y'all
saying that
had
you could sue the
years-
estate.
No, but the estate is suing them.
Well, yeah.
Their kids are
That's what R.
suing
Kelly's doing now.
R. Kelly's not gonna win that.
I don't think Michael Jackson's estate's gonna win that.
They're gonna win that.
You think they're gonna win that?
They're gonna win that. They're three little white kids. They're winning that.
Yeah, they might win that.
They're winning that,
They might win that.
and they're all suing. All three of them.
Yeah, they might win.
They're winning that.
Nigga named the kid Blanket. I just think
His
that's
name
weird.
is not Blanket.
Oh.
They call him Blanket.
That's worse. Wait, what is his real name?
His name is Michael. Michael Jackson Jr. or Prince Michael or something like that.
Yo,
And they called him Blanket. I want to know where they got. That's fucking hilarious, though. I feel like if Blanket is your name,
that's the oldest. Or?
nah,
the
that's the
youngest.
youngest. But actually now,
So why is he Michael Jackson Jr.?
Because like I said, his son's names are weird because either they both have
that's
the same name.
that's another
or
thing. How many?
whatever.
Do you believe
That's
those
weird.
is actually his kid?
No,
No.
they're not. They're definitely not.
I
Matter of
believe.
fact,
I believe I believe the youngest one might be.
Mm-mm.
The other two, I don't.
I don't believe Michael Jackson was into women. And if that is his kid, I don't believe he had sex to get that kid. That's one. But two, the fact that the youngest...
The third kid was born through a surrogate. So
This is just making my... But that's kind of my point. But I just think that the fact that the youngest kid... Now, after all this, the fact that the youngest kid's name is Blanket, that's a little creepy now. Might be a stretch. It's a little
his name is not Blanket.
The fact that
it was a nickname.
The fact that his nickname is Blanket doesn't make it less
But
creepy.
he doesn't even, they don't even call him that anymore. Doesn't that, like,
The fact that that was his name at all is fucking creepy. Like, there's nothing gonna make this not creepy. Now,
I'm just saying,
this.
I don't understand the point in bringing that up if that's not,
Oh no, I just
even-
thought it was funny.
yeah.
I just thought it was funny. But no.
you know he's gonna defend his man's.
I know.
So what is
That's
your...
why there's no point. I don't see the point
What?
in talking about. To me, I feel that with all of us, well, we can say how we feel, but again, I haven't even watched the documentary, so it's like I can't point for point.
But you're never gonna watch the documentary.
I didn't say I wasn't gonna watch it. I
you
said
told me you wasn't going to.
I just said earlier today I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
Because he made a point of saying we can't discuss it if I haven't watched it. So how can he bring up things that he saw and I haven't seen it? So I can't say anything to, like,
Getting hella close.
yeah.
I can't even get out.
Well, okay.
But
so-
I was saying because I haven't seen it, so I can't like
Give your opinion.
give a
on it.
counter argument, right? And then, and give my opinion on it. And two, yeah, I'm a fan of Michael Jackson. I've been a fan of Michael Jackson since I was 2 years old. So I'm biased. I'm going into it knowing that I'm biased. But if in fact it is true that he did that, it's going to bother me, because it's the same thing that like Dave Chappelle said, even when he was making jokes about Bill Cosby, but he was like, that's my hero. Like, that was my hero. He did things that no black person had ever done before.
Bill Cosby didn't do that shit.
Well, there you go. But still, it's just like, you know, it's just when you see things like that, when a person that you admire, his legacy is being like tarnished in that way, it's
hard.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to accept. So I don't really want to talk about it. No, but because there's no actual fact, and like until something happens that shows me that without a doubt this man did that, I'm going to try to find a way to defend it if I can.
You think if they dig up his body and like test his test, I don't know what the fuck they.
Well, yeah. Aside from the facts, I'll put it in quote because I consider them facts. Other people don't consider them facts.
And that's another thing. You already, even with you never listened to his music anyway. Two,
Yeah.
You've always thought that something was wrong with him.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no reason of having that conversation. It's just like me and you with Michael and LeBron. You're gonna feel how you feel about it, and I'm gonna feel how I feel about Michael Jordan. But I don't argue that. I don't go heavy into debates about that because I don't care enough. Like, I don't know a lot of the statistics and facts about Michael Jordan, so I can't like counter argument like every single thing somebody says about LeBron. I don't have those stats.
I'm not arguing with you. But wait,
it's the same
this
thing.
is the difference though. I'm not arguing with you about Mike. I said I'm not canceling Mike. That's exactly what I just said.
Out of this whole car, I'm the only one that's actually.
I'm not canceling
I still don't
Mike.
even consider myself canceling.
But you didn't listen to him.
So I guess none of us are canceling him.
If Mike, this is my thing. If Mike did it, Mike is nasty. As easy as that. If Mike didn't do it, which we'll never know.
That's what I keep saying. What I was about to say was I'm not like
arguing.
the facts that they had, I consider them facts. Other people are like, nah, that's not enough. Honestly, the only reason to really know, but this is the same with the Bill Cosby thing. This is the same with the R.
Bill
Kelly
Cosby
thing.
is different.
This is the same. No, what I'm about to say.
What?
All of this, there's no real way to know. No. Like with all of this, there's no way to actually know for sure.
Okay, but that
is.
How?
Because at the end of the day, let me say it like this. Mike is dead, right?
Yeah.
For R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, all parties everybody in their parties are still alive.
Yeah.
Lie detectors exist.
Yeah, but lie detectors are invincible. You could trick a lie detector test.
Not too many people. How many people can actually do that?
Hold on.
They have to be trained.
I know.
Hello?
Like,
all right, can I call you back real quick?
I know 3 different ways to trick a lie detector.
Sorry, I'll call
And
you
I've
back.
done it before. It's not hard.
All
It's
right, I love
very,
you.
very simple. And you don't think, maybe not Bill Cosby.
you cap it right now.
No,
That's a
don't.
topic I gotta get into.
Nah, I know how to trick a lie detector.
Niggas be capping, my nigga.
I did know how to trick a lie detector test.
You hear me?
Yeah, I heard him, but
You
no.
hear me?
But look.
I'm surprised you don't know how to trick a lie detector test.
I've heard that it's possible.
You of
But,
all people should know how to trick a lie detector.
Why me of all people?
Because you're probably the one that would most be around a lie detector
Liars?
test situation.
What the fuck? No.
I would think that you would know how to trick. I would think they would show you how to trick a lie detector.
Let's get back
No.
to let's
I would think so.
All that aside, because that was gonna get.
Okay, well, besides lie detector tests, they're inadmissible in court anyway.
But here's
Yes, they are, but still.
here's
What
the thing,
other
though.
way would you know for sure?
That's the only way that I could think of.
That's not a good way.
No, but here's that though. But that in itself is kind of helping with my point, and which is why I said it's about more of a motive thing, because it's like if you are like with R. Kelly, right? He's arrested again. There are charges against him again. He can go to jail this time if the court finds him guilty. And that's a real thing that can happen. Bill Cosby is already in jail. So it's like with Michael Jackson, the man is dead. So the only thing that a person can do is ruin his legacy.
Yeah.
And if that is justice enough for them, or if that's like satisfying enough for them, then I guess fine. But it's just like, if it's never going to be proven for real that he did it, then it's just like, again,
no way,
the man has been dead.
To...
The man has been dead for 10 years, and it's like, to do that at this time, like the timing of a lot of different things, it's just always like awkward. Like even with the Bill Cosby thing, nobody was saying shit about Bill Cosby until he tried to buy NBC, and then it was like all of a sudden all this shit is happening to him. And then even with Michael had bought the rights to like the Beatles songs. He was one of the most successful artists in history. And then, you know, the thing about Michael is Michael has always been a target. Everything that you say that you think makes him a suspect, it also makes him a target to be a suspect. Everything that has happened it's easy to paint him as that person. Like you said, you was like, who do you know that they would just randomly lie and call somebody a child molester? There's nobody who makes themselves as easy of a target. There is no black man that has ever been as easy of a target as Michael Jackson.
You're making both of our points.
From his skin being lighter to all the stuff they used to say shit about him in the tabloids even before that, about he was sleeping in the time chamber. They was saying shit about that. Yeah, it was like a tabloid thing. He would like sleep in some like chamber to keep him from aging, like all types of weird shit. That's
not really weird.
They would say, well, at the time they said it was, and then they would say, you know,
some random shit
with the surgeries with the nose and his skin being lighter. Everyone's saying he didn't want to be a black person, which is stupid because that's dead not true. And then all the things that about like him, he had bought like the bones of the elephant man and some crazy shit. Like there's been a lot of rumors about like stuff Michael Jackson has done even before like the child molestation things. It just never stopped it because it's like Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson, and he kept being successful. But even that didn't start happening until Thriller came out, and then it was like he's the biggest, he's on top of the world, and now the first thing they want to do, let's find some shit on this guy. And with the molestation charges, he didn't even want to settle. His lawyers told him to, but that's a whole nother thing. Whatever. If he didn't, but he fought it the second time and he was acquitted. I mean, it is what it is. If you don't want to believe that, you don't want to believe it. And that's why I feel like it's a little annoying to me, because it was like for the longest time, whoever believed it was going to believe it. Whoever didn't believe it was going to keep on not believing it. But just now it sticks more because of the environment that we're in. Because of the climate that we're living in, a documentary like this is going to stand out more. So it's like, and it's still wrong because there's no real white person's legacy being torn down the way Michael's and Bill's or whatever is.
That's true.
And it's just like, that in itself is fucked up, and that in itself makes me suspicious. But it's like Michael is a different type of person. Michael was weird, but weird can be a lot of different things. Weird doesn't necessarily have to mean that there's a criminal element about it. You're just different. Michael was a very different person, and you can blame that on a lot of different things. That doesn't make him automatically a child molester. He did things that was questionable. And if I was to ever know Michael Jackson, if I was ever a friend of Michael Jackson, I would have told him all of that. I wouldn't have sugarcoated it because he's Michael Jackson. I would have been like, nah, it's some wild shit. You're going to get yourself caught up. Even if you're not doing anything, the shit that you're doing, people are going to you make yourself a target. You're making yourself easy for people to just say this, that, and the other has happened. And that's what it was. And Michael, I feel that if it wasn't true, they butchered this man. They butchered his psyche. I feel like they messed up a lot of things with him. And, you know, his career could have went a whole different way had those accusations never happened. And then, you know, him dying, even when he died, it was like people were celebrating him. And now all of that is about to be like changed and the view of him. And again, all of that, I say all that to say, I personally don't believe he did it. But if it ever did, it would bother me. Even when I don't believe it, it still bothers me, because I know that there's people out there who are going to really feel strong about him doing these things, and it's not right. And if he did do it, that's not right at all. And I can't, defend that. I can't support that. No. But when it comes to his music, I can never deny the impact that Michael has had on me, on the world. There's just music-wise, otherwise in other forms, Michael just had a big influence, and it's I can't ever deny that happened. So I can't cancel him. It's like those DVDs that show like old cartoons that were like racist or whatever from back in the day, and they say and on the label of those DVD boxes it says to ignore these things is to act like it didn't exist. And that's wrong. You have to acknowledge your history and what's come before you. So I can't cancel Michael Jackson and act like, oh, that was never a part of my life. I never listened to Michael Jackson. I never liked his stuff. His music never had an impact on me. I can't personally. I don't want to. I don't want to pretend that Michael Jackson didn't have an impact on me, especially because I sing and write music and stuff like that. So, if I was just a fan, it's whatever. But because I also want to sing and do music and perform and all that, and a lot of that is because of Michael Jackson, I can't cancel him.
So then none of us have canceled Michael Jackson?
I guess not. Although you don't really count, but yeah. So
basically,
hold on. Before anything, we're gonna save the rest of this conversation for the next episode. So we're gonna have a part 2/3 of Never Leaving, like our thoughts on. Well, you didn't watch it yet.
No.
But you're going to now.
Yeah.
All right. So
I guess after I watch it, we could
talk
another one, another segment about it.
Now, only reason why, because of the time.
I know. Yeah,
so,
we gotta wrap this one up.
I mean, I'm not canceling him.
Nope.
No.
You know what they say, like my nigga Johnny Cochran said, the glove don't fit, you must have quit.